What's good, Wizards fans? Welcome to Locked On Wizards podcast. It's your host, the real Ed Oliver, my guy Brandon Scott. The Wizards on a 3-game winning streak. Everybody eats. Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Wizards podcast. I just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. First-time users can receive 100% instant deposit. Match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. That's prizepicks.com, promo code Locked On. So the Wizards beat the hot, scorching Utah Jazz 121-112. Everybody eats tonight. Brandon, what did you think about Point Kuz and Kristaps standing out tonight? What were your major takeaways from the game tonight?
Well, I think that KP, or not KP rather, but Kuz was right when he said that the offense should be run through him. I mean, is more fluid. You know, there's a lot more shot opportunities. You know, like you said, everybody eats. It's been fun to watch him. You know, it's been real fun to watch this team. You know, KP and Kuz has been showing up. Kuz just, like I said, this offense is so fluid running through Kuz. You know, if you look at the stats tonight, 23 points from Kuz, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, homeboy's playing, man. Homeboy's balling out, man. I'm trying to tell you. You know, KP, 31 points, 10 boards, man. And KP was feeling it tonight. Morris, again, underwhelming when it comes to scoring points, but he did contribute 7 rebounds and 9 assists. So, and let me add this. I'm going to give him props. Monte Morris was driving the lane, and hey, you saw a lot of open shooters when he did that. You know, it was fluid. Look at other people. Corey Kispert, come on, man. Perfect from the field. 18 points, 6 from 6 from the field, 4 for 4 from behind the arc. Corey Kispert's starting to warm up. You know, he's starting to find his shot.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm very impressed. This was a very beautiful team win. You know, we shot 50% from field goal percentage, 44 behind the arc. 7 from 20 or 17 from 20 from free throw line, 13 points fast break. We were pushing the pace. Monte, something must have clicked because he was pushing the pace. You know,
he said his mom was watching the game today, so that must have been why.
Hey, she need to come to every game, man. Because I mean, he played well tonight. 8 blocks and 11 second chance points. So overall, great team victory. Getting into the bench real quick. Rui 11 points. Jordan Goodwin, 3 3-pointers in the first half. He was rocking. I mean, he played well tonight. Barton, 9 points. He had another cat from B More. You know, Rudy Gay was playing tonight, so we had another B More guy. And Gafford, 2 points, 2 rebounds. But man, that one dunk he had, yes, sir. So
yes, sir.
Overall, like you said, this was a very good team win, especially against the Utah Jazz. They came in 10-3. You know, they were shocking the league. You know, they have a lot of spare parts of guys who, came from different teams. You know, the Colin Sexton, Laurie Marketing, what was it, Malik Beasley, who previously, he played with Barton in Denver. So, they played tough. Utah was tough tonight. They were tough. They played defense. They got in people's face. So that's why this win was so much sweeter, because we beat a legitly good team. I think Utah might be a sleeper, but, we said this team's a sleeper. We're looking pretty good without Brad in the lineup. 3-1. We were talking about before the episode, 3-1. So, the offense, the fluidity is there. So,
yeah, they are 3-1, and I'm a Bradley Beal guy. I'm a Bradley Beal fan, and I hope when he comes back, they run the offense the same way. They do need to run it through Kuz. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 3 games in a row that you've won, and you're winning this way. When he comes back, he just needs to. Honestly, who cares about the contract? He just needs to get in where he can fit in with this team. This team, they actually made 3 tonight. They were hot from the 3. Porzingis couldn't be stopped. Rui dunked on Kelly Olynyk, getting that revenge on Kelly Olynyk for what he did to us when he was with the Celtics. Porzingis had a nasty putback dunk. Jordan Goodwin, like you said, 3 threes in that first quarter. He got hot. He had a strip on Jordan Clarkson, or I think it was Taylor Horton-Tucker, and Rui took it to the basket, coast to coast, and scored. So we made a lot of game-winning plays on the defensive side of the ball, getting stops against a hot Jazz team. And they are a good team. Laurie Marketing can play, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Jordan Clarkson. those guys are go-getters that get to the basket. And KP said it during the halftime interview with Chase Hughes. He said they're just making the extra pass. They're making the extra pass, and they're knocking down open threes. Corey Kispert woke up, didn't miss a shot. He had a perfect game, 4 for 4 from the three-point line, 6 for 6 from the field. KP won the defensive belt, man. He played like an all-star tonight. He dominated tonight. He had a couple of mean blocks tonight as well. The guys they had 5 guys in double figures tonight, so that just shows spreading the wealth there. Kyle Kuzma, like you said, he was in double figures, 23 points. Man, he had a lollipop pass to Porzingis where it was kind of like an alley-oop, and he finished. So Kuz just being that point forward, man, it's just a different team, and they move the ball now. And he's been a vocal leader so far as well. Like he's a 23.6 assists, 8 boards. Corey Kispert, 18 points tonight. Denny had his moments. He had a way better offensive game tonight, 13 points, 7 boards. He did hit a 3, was a plus 22, 4 for 6 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So this was his best offensive output so far. Porzingis, 31 points, 10 boards tonight. Monte Morris, like you said, didn't fill up the stat sheet, but 9 assists and 7 boards. He came in, made a couple of plays, and pushed the pace. Like you said, the reason why they won the game is because they pushed the pace. They got stops on the defensive end of the ball. They rebounded the ball. They pushed the ball. And they finished strong. I mean, Will Barton had a dunk on somebody tonight too. The energy was contagious. It was contagious and infectious in the building. 11 points for Rui, 4 boards. Jordan Goodwin, once again, he's just been a breath of fresh air and a breath of life that they needed at that point guard spot. Like I said, Daniel Gafford dunking on Kessler Edwards as well. Just a great all-around team win. And they played Memphis. We'll talk about that a little bit next. But this is the formula for winning games. Ball movement, no selfish play. Everybody eats. It doesn't matter whose night it was. I gotta give credit to Wes Unseld Jr. tonight too. He rolled with the hot hands. I like the rotations tonight. He only played. I mean, they played a couple guys because guys got in at the end of the game, but it was kind of a short rotation. And guys played well. They gelled really well together. The chemistry was there for sure.
You know, like we keep saying, this team looked fluid. This was an all-around team win. Like you said, Wes, you know, his rotations were on point. You know, point forward. You know, Kuz. I think the big question now is, where does Bradley Beal fit into this lineup when he comes back? You know, because the offense has showed that when it runs through Kuz or even KP, is a lot more fluid. Right. You know, so I think that's the big question now. Where does Bradley Beal fit in? Because, you know, obviously he's not going to be that top guy as far as offense. You know, it's better run through another player. So does he go back to being that spot up guy, you know, which I think he should. I think going forward, I think Brad needs to come in and kind of just be one of the guys, you know, set up and shoot and score, you know, because, you know, like we said, Kuz has shown and KP has shown that the offense can run through them. So I think going forward with Bradley Beal coming back, if he comes in and he goes back to being the Bradley Beal from the John Wall days of being that scorer, I think this team will be very good going forward because these wins are impressive, especially this win. Utah, wow. I mean, like I said, Utah was a tough team. You know, that's one thing I took away from them in this game because you saw a lot of energy from their defense on our guys. They were in there, they were in people's face. Their rotations were good. So if we can beat a team like this, then going forward, you know, we look pretty good. Now, obviously, we feel they're maybe a move away, but this is definitely a good sign for this team going forward.
Right. I got to give credit to Rui too. I thought he did a good job on the defensive side of the ball too. He had a block. I can't remember whether it was on Rudy Gay or not. Then he had a fast break still and had a dunk as well. He almost dunked on Kelly Olynyk as well. So I'm happy that he went to the basket stronger tonight. I've been begging Denny to go up strong. I mean, he went up stronger tonight. But Porzingis, he's just a unicorn, man. That step back 3 he hit on Olynyk as well. That's just stuff that you don't see from a guy who's 7 feet tall or 7'3". He just does things and that's why he's a unicorn. So I love what they did tonight. So we're going to quickly get to the player of the game. And I know Porzingis won the defensive player of the belt tonight. But before we do get to that, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Super, super easy. You pick 2 to 5 players, over unders. I think the over under for Porzingis tonight was like 25 points. I'm not sure. Got to look it up. But if you bet on the over for Porzingis, you definitely won some money tonight. And betting's going to be free in Maryland. It's about time. Betting's going to be legal in Maryland. It's about time. So it's super easy. You pick 2 to 5 players, and if they will go score more or less than their prize picks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on any entry. No competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. Prize Picks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, men's college basketball, WNBA, and even cricket. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Safe and fast withdrawals. Currently operational in over 30 states and Canada. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive 100% deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter promo code Locked On and sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. Also, thanks for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now, for your second listen today, check out Locked On Sports Today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports. Go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, Brandon. So, who was your player of the game, and who do you think who would you say won the defensive belt? And then we'll get to the comments and wrap it up.
Player of the game, I'm going with Kuz. I know that KP. Well, I'm gonna talk about him next, but Kuz all around game, like I said, 23 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, and the leadership shows. It's just he's talking to guys. He's just incredible. He's been incredible this season. His leadership really shows. That's what you want to see from a guy that is supposed to be a solid piece going forward. So I'm going with Kuz tonight as my player of the game. Now, defensive player of the game, I'm going with KP. I thought he defended the paint well. He these two were incredible, man. So that's who I'm rolling with.
Yeah, I'm with you too. Kuz just set the tone, just dominating and getting other guys involved. He was getting downhill, finding open shooters. Open cutters to the basket. I mean, running the offense through him, he really sets the tone and gets guys open and gets everybody involved. So I'm basically agreeing with you. Like you say, I agree. I'll also defensive player of the game too, man. I'm gonna go with Porzingis, man. He has some big blocks during the game. So he really set the tone defensively too. He's been a defensive anchor for this team. So. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up with a couple comments. Now, the Grizzlies, we're not going to go too in-depth, but if you did not know, they got some guys that are going to be out tomorrow night. I'm going to read you guys their PR, Grizzlies PR, their status report for tomorrow. Doubtful Desmond Bane with toe soreness. He's doubtful for tomorrow night. Jaren Jackson Jr., foot surgery recovery. He's doubtful. Ja Morant with ankle soreness is doubtful for tomorrow night. We do play the Grizzlies tomorrow night, if you guys didn't know. Kenny Lofton Jr. is out. Zaire Williams is out as well. And D Green is out with knee surgery recovery as well. So, but also, I mean, Porzingis could be player of the game too. He had a double-double. I think he dominated as well. So, but yeah, we're gonna get to a couple comments here. Come on, finally admit better without Beal. What do you think about that, Brandon?
That's a tough one because I like Beal, but I mean, if you look at it, it's a lot more fluid. The offense is a lot more fluid. I mean, I hate to say that, but we're just saying what a lot of people are thinking, man. The offense is a lot more fluid, and that's why I said that is Beal is going to have to find where he fits into this offense because it's best run through Kuz and KP. So,
100%. Yeah, I mean. They do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say they look better, but they look more fluid. The ball moves better. The offense looks better. They're shooting threes better. The last 2 games, this is their first time making more than 13 threes on the season. Just let that sink in. That's how bad the 3-point shooting has been for the Washington Wizards. I think they're bottom 5 in 3-pointers made. They're bottom 5 in 3-pointers attempted. They're bottom 5 in 3-point percentage as well. So they're just not a good 3-point shooting team. But you see what happens when they move the ball. They shoot threes better. And they were just knocking down open shots tonight too. So in the previous games, they haven't really hit open shots, but they're moving the ball better. They're getting open looks, like Porzingis said. They're making the extra pass, and they're knocking down shots. Bill hasn't been a good 3-point shooter, but maybe if the offense runs through Kuz, Bill will get more open looks and open shots because they're getting to the basket now. They're getting downhill. And also, DeLon Wright was working out today, so we'll see when he gets back. They might even get better when DeLon gets back. They're starting to get healthy again. So. But also the point guards tonight, they had 11 assists and no turnovers. Also, we'll read 2 more comments. I know you guys are blowing up the comment section here. Sharp says that we can consistently get KP like he was in New York with the Knicks, Rui continuing to develop. Kuz keeping that energy when Bill gets back. Watch out. Man, the ball moving without, right. I mean, we 100% agree. We're looking good tonight, man. He leads. He's tied with Benedict Mathurin. Another stat, he's tied with Benedict Mathurin for double-digit scoring games off of the bench. So he could be a six-man of the year candidate. And if he gets better on the defensive side of the ball, rebounding the ball, man, the sky could be the limit for Rui, man. The young guys are developing well. All the young guys look good tonight, from Rui, Denny, Corey Kispert, Jordan Goodwin. All the young guys look good. Johnny Davis had a dunk in the G League. I saw a highlight on Twitter. So all the young guys look good tonight. Rain Halaker says ball was moving tonight. Everyone got touches. Chimp says great dub. You got to see it if they were flowing without Bill. Brandon, any other comments stand out to you?
Let's check it out, because a lot of them are pretty much the same.
The same thing. Yeah, I know.
Without Bill,
yeah, no. Look at this guy. Webb saying, "Man, trade Bill, please." Yeah, no.
Let's see. Yeah. Chimp says Kispert was killing at Gonzaga. He's going to play well in the NBA. I agree. You can look at certain programs, and that certain programs are going to prepare the guys for the NBA. Your Dukes, your North Carolinas. But Gonzaga has consistently put decent players in the NBA. I know Jalen Suggs is kind of. The jury's still out a little bit in Orlando, but if you look at Brandon Clark, we're gonna see him going forward. Gonzaga is just one of those schools that put out NBA ready guys. So no, I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Corey Kispert's ready, man. I gave him a hard time the other night because he shot a three off the backboard, but he finished as well, because not only was he knocking down threes, but he was cutting. He moves so well without the basketball. He was finishing around the rim. He finishes through contact. So Corey Kispert, I know a lot of people give him a hard time, but he looked good tonight. He stepped up as a starter. He was a plus 14. Denny was a plus 22. Porzingis was a plus 24. I mean, everybody who started was like a plus 10 at least. Kuzma was a plus 12. Kuzma was sick as well. If people didn't know, he was questionable to play, so he almost didn't play tonight. So he had somewhat of a flu game. But yeah, we'll read one more comment here, and then we'll wrap it up. Of course, yeah, you guys are just crazy. Somebody Shugs B says Bill stole money from this franchise. See, like I said, hey, I want to see Bill fit in where he can fit in with this team. I think he can definitely fit in. I think you would think that with Bill they would be better. It's up to West too. We don't have to see point guard Bradley Beal anymore. Can they have Kuz as the point, Monte Morris, Jordan Goodwin? It doesn't matter who the point guard is anymore. I think running the offense through Kuz, it just gets everybody more comfortable, and it just gets it gets people in their spots better. So I mean, that's all I'm gonna say on that. So I see you guys are saying a lot about Bradley Beal, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I mean, they got a big opportunity. John Morant is doubtful, so it's a game that they definitely have somewhat of an advantage to win.
Yeah, and I know I say this a lot, but I agree. But if you look at, but I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna preach patience. Be patient, Bradley Beal, because I get it. Him signing that contract, and him being put in that role of being the guy, and him kind of, not really living up to expectations. But I'm gonna say preach patience, because this. If you look at the guys we've had in this franchise, you're going to look back and he's going to be one of those iconic guys, outside of the Bullet guys who won the championship, John Wall, Gilbert Arenas, Antoine, but Bradley Beal's one of those guys. He's been here. This is the only team he's been with up to this point. So, I think just loyalty wise, that earns him a little bit of time for patience. He's, because I want, like I said earlier, I want to see how he fits in offense, but I definitely want to see Bradley Beal, see how he does with his team. I'm not really ready. I know everybody's like, let's go ahead and send him out of town, but I still think he could be a deadly scorer in this league. And I think that we're definitely better with him going forward right now. So, I'm gonna preach patience a little bit with Brad.
Even though you wanted to trade him for Russell Westbrook the other day.
Oh, I'm still down, man. But but so you're gonna call me out, man.
So yeah, I'm messing with you, man. Oh man. But all right, yeah, this is last. Joe Swam says point Kuz is the way to go moving forward. West needs to quit trying to force scoring Bill into the point Bill hole. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up because we're gonna see you guys tomorrow night. Also, submit mailbag questions. We're gonna do a mailbag episode next week. Also, leave a 5-star review if you can. Really helps out the channel. We thank you guys for watching and subscribing on YouTube as well. Just want to make sure you guys thank you again for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. And for your second listen today, check out Locked On Sports Today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights on Locked On. Only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get podcasts. Hail to the Wizards and dub. All right, y'all. Peace.